Welcome back to the 1010s podcast. That's Michael Beck. That's Handsome Rob. We're in the bank vault.
In the what?
What's the bank vault?
So Spencer messages me earlier this week, and he goes, I can't wait to get into the bank vault. And then he clarified, he goes, that's what I've decided the place is called, where you record, because I'm going to try and break into it.
This guy.
So this is the bank vault.
I thought he was just assuming talking about Michael's bank vault that he has at his house.
We don't do
I
it
think-
at my house.
I think
so.
that's probably part of it.
It's
The Scrooge McDuck thing.
yeah.
But
That all ties together
this
and
is
makes
the
sense
bank
now.
vault.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
And Spencer's allowed to come here.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
I've already said he can come here
Hang out, play Nintendo.
and do the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's gonna. Whoa, shit!
Careful.
I'm throwing a computer. He's gonna do a show sometime, maybe when he comes back from traveling, whenever that
We're going to
happens.
do mini trucking talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
I fucking love mini trucks.
I'm new to it.
He's
Things
got
have
a
airbags.
He's got a regular sized truck now too. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he sent me pictures of it. He's got his air ride set up in the toolbox.
Nice.
I've seen a lot of people build stereos in those toolboxes
Yep,
and
I've
do
seen that.
blow-throughs, but so probably shouldn't rain on his parade too much, but
We just keep talking about him. Right now he's listening. He's like sending us all messages.
yeah, right,
Super
yeah.
pumped. All right.
Anyway,
You can find us on Facebook at 1010s Podcast, on Instagram at 1010s Podcast, 1010spodcast.com, on Twitter at the number 1010s Podcast. Check out the store while you're at the website. YouTube. What else? Car Throttle.
Car Throttle, Drive Tribe.
Anything else you want to whore yourself out at?
Just Google us, and the first 2 pages of results are us being somewhere socially.
That's true.
Fair enough.
You have to go way in there before you start finding things that aren't our social media pages. It's hilarious.
Like our website.
Well, including our website. The
Oh,
first
okay.
2 pages of results are our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook, our website, our blog, our Car Throttle. It's super funny. We're everywhere. We're whores.
We're all over the internet. Anywhere there is a car thing related to, we are there.
There are multiple podcast players that our podcast is on that we've never even
Stitcher.
advertised.
We're on Stitcher.
We're on Satchel,
We are on Satchel. I forgot that we were on Satchel.
which I don't think anybody
Robbie, do you
actually
even know what
uses.
Satchel is?
Nope, not a clue.
It was there, so Adam just added us to it.
I got targeted on Facebook with an ad for them, and I'm like,
Yeah, let's sync it up.
okay,
Let's go.
done.
It's supposed to be like a local.
Yeah, you can when you open it up, it'll ask you it'll ask you for your location, and if you say yes, it'll give you podcasts that are being recorded in your area.
Are we like a mecca of podcasts? Or
There was only like one, wasn't there?
I actually re-downloaded the app today and looked at it
Yeah.
because they also are partnered with Patreon, and I would like to start getting paid for this in some small way. So,
Hell yeah.
So I was looking at this Patreon thing, but now there's probably 5 or 6 of them on there that are done in Iowa, and one of them is political, and 4 or 5 of them are comic books, and then there's
Really?
us. I think there was a sports one in there too, a fantasy football one.
there's got to be sports.
There's a decent sized music one in Des Moines. I'd have to look it up. It's like music and culture.
We're not even the only car one here. The muscle car place.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Is done in Ames.
They're way bigger than we are, or he is way bigger than we are.
He gave us the cold shoulder once.
He did technically. We tried not to stalk him at Good Guys like a bunch of weirdos.
I have seen him driving his Chevelle around in Ames a couple of times when I've been working.
You should be like really weird and just stop and start talking to him. Like, hey, Robert, what's up, buddy?
Drop him a business card,
Yeah.
act like I have no
Hey,
idea
dude.
who
And
he is.
But keep touching base with him. You know, he keeps, hey, dude, what's up? And then starts getting like super creeped out.
I need to figure out where he shops for groceries and stuff. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, fancy
Hey,
seeing
dude,
you
this
here.
is so weird.
Ah.
10th stalker.
I have way too many things going on in my life to have that kind of time. And I'm not that creepy.
I know.
I like to think I'm not that creepy anyway.
I know. Like when we reach out to people and they don't reply, we're just kind of like, okay, sorry.
They must not have read that. They
Sorry.
must not have read that.
Didn't mean
That's
to
why I don't
didn't mean to
like.
inconvenience
That's
you.
why I
Sorry.
don't like messaging people on Facebook, because I can see when they've read it, and if they didn't respond to me, it makes me really sad.
I know you read it. I know you did.
Why are you doing this to me?
You've crushed me. Like I can
My
pretend,
dreams!
I can pretend on an email that they just get. You
just
know,
didn't read it.
They get 10,000 emails a day from
the-
podcasts asking them to come on their show, and they just haven't had time to
It's
get.
in the
back
junk
to me.
folder, you know? Happens to
It
everybody.
happens, you know. I can give them plausible deniability, but I know they looked at my message.
It's true.
Wah.
It happens even to us. As huge and famous and well known as we are,
Yeah.
people delete our messages most of the time.
It happens.
It does happen.
So
Didn't you have another bit you wanted to do?
I do
before
have
we
a
did our
little, like
topic?
a real quick thing. So remember a couple weeks ago when we were talking about your Equinox, Robbie, and I had said that Katie's mom's V6 version thereof had been quite nice to her.
Turns out it didn't.
Timing belt let go on it like
Oofda.
yesterday.
So what's
she
her
got
next-
an estimate for $2,700.
Is it an interference motor?
No, apparently not, because she drove it home.
Okay.
Whoa.
How'd she drive it home with no timing belt?
That was kind of what I was confused. I think it might have just
Did it
skipped.
shred?
Maybe it
Oh,
skipped
Yeah.
or something. I'm not sure. She said she told Katie that it came up with a message that said something about it only running on half the engine.
Okay.
Which is not good.
I was like, does it have two timing belts? I was trying to logic this out in my head. There's no way that, I mean, I know it's a V6, but it's still got to only have a timing belt, right?
You would think so.
Are those belts or chains?
Maybe it does have two timing belts. I guess it could. What's to stop it from having two timing belts?
Like one set of cams is half an inch longer than the other then, or
Yeah, maybe. So it would line up with the crank. It
so it would
could,
line up if
could
you had
be.
two pulleys on the back
Yeah.
of the crank and you had one set of cams that was a little bit longer so that pulley sat
in the right
in
spot.
the right spot.
It could be. I mean, we don't know. What motor is that?
I don't know. It's a V6.
Is it a what year? Talk about something that nobody knows anything about. It's
Yeah.
V6 Equinoxes.
Yeah, second gen. I can
Is it
tell
a
you that
3.8?
much.
Roberto?
I don't
Probably
think-
a 3-liter.
I don't think it's the 3.8 liter. If it was, this wouldn't be a problem because that motor's bulletproof as long as it's late enough to not have the intake gasket problem.
It's a chain.
It is a chain?
Yeah, if it's what year is it? 2013.
sure.
All right, it's a 3.6 liter with a chain.
3.6 liter.
Or if it's a
Is that the second gen?
2011, it's a 3 liter with a chain.
3 liter. Yeah, hers is like an 11. So it's a 3
I
liter
would
with
say
a
that's
chain.
probably more accurate. She's had it for at least 5 years and she didn't buy it new.
So it's like a 10 or 11. So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
would
3
say
liter
that's probably fair.
with the chain. So maybe it jumped.
That'd be bad. Really bad. Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Don't buy an Equinox engine.
So here's where she's at now. She's kind of thinking that it's not worth fixing because she's never really been in love with it to begin with.
I've been there.
So she was kind of talking about maybe just saying screw it and buying something else.
Yeah, just throw it on Craigslist as is. That's what I did.
So the problem where she lives, the closest Craigslist location
Liberty.
is 60 miles away.
Ooh. People will drive 60 miles for a junk car, though.
Well, I understand that, but it's not very good marketing. But anyway,
She should try it.
here's the question I posed to you guys, having zero time to think about this. Katie's mom drives, she has like a 100-mile round trip commute daily. So she needs something
Damn.
that's reliable, good on gas,
And roughly the size of an Equinox.
Well, I think that she should go with a smaller vehicle this time around. If
Well,
not,
that's good because
if not a
that's
car.
exactly where I was going with this.
You're going to tell her to buy a Rogue, aren't you?
Absolutely not. That CVT transmission's a real
right, I
pain in the
forgot
ass.
about that.
There's only one option.
A RAV4?
It's a 2002 or newer Toyota RAV4.
We don't want something that old.
Then get a 2012.
She wants her heated seats. She has to have her heated seats in her life.
Get a 2012 Toyota RAV4.
The other thing that is a bit of a problem for her is she lives so far out in the middle of no man's land that a lot of the mechanics around there don't have this stigma and they don't want to touch foreign made stuff because they think that internal combustion engines from another land are somehow radically different.
Which they're not.
Which that's the thing I've never quite understood. Modern day, if you can work on a GM, you can work on a whatever. It's all that really boils down.
yeah,
to
that
be
or-
roughly the same.
All successful automotive manufacturers base their assembly lines off the Toyota Kata, which is the Toyota manufacturing principles. So if your company, like, I don't know if GM does it, but I know UTC does. We base a lot of stuff on Toyota Kata because their quality is so good. Go with Toyota.
Look at that. That's fucking industry terms and shit.
It's because he's an engineer.
Jargon.
Slow your roll, Rob.
Industry jargon.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. People have turned this
But anyway,
podcast
I think
off.
that she probably would be best served just because of her local mechanics and stuff if she had a Ford, a GM,
Nope.
a Dodge product, which I'm not super pumped about either. But
Well,
Dodge doesn't make a small SUV.
I guess when I buy,
I think I think she should be in a car. I think she'd be happier in a car.
I think she should go with the Toyota RAV4.
I
Because
think
she will avoid said mechanic for a long time.
I think she should get a Jeep Renegade.
Absolutely.
with all-wheel
not.
drive.
No way.
This is how out in the middle of nowhere she lives. Her oil change guy, his primary business is selling muscle cars. That's the kind of mechanics she has access to.
Confuse the fuck out of him by getting a Jeep Renegade.
What's an OBD2 plug?
Oh boy.
Not a clue.
But I suggested to Katie maybe like a Fusion hybrid or something like that.
They're confused by Japanese engines, but hybrids are okay.
Sure as fuck not gonna wanna
She has a
touch that.
Ford dealer like 2 blocks from her house.
To get a Ford Edge.
That was kind of what I was thinking. Is there's a dealership right there. You know,
Because the Ford Edge would be a little bit roughly the size of a Rogue. It would be smaller than her Equinox. Actually, quite a bit smaller than Equinox. Now that I think about it, but those are pretty decent cars to my understanding. I haven't driven a lot of them. I haven't been around them much.
my little sister's got a Fusion, and she seems to really like it. I drove it. It wasn't a bad little car. But I think if she got like that hybrid platform, don't they get like 50 miles to the gallon or something silly?
I don't know. I don't pay
Use
attention
2
to
gallons
hybrids.
a day going on a 100-mile trip. That'd be pretty sweet.
It's not a bad idea.
But then the hybrid thing scares me because the battery packs and
They make an Escape hybrid.
yeah, I was
She
going to
needs
say
an
I think
SUV.
that same drivetrain is probably in the Edge or the Escape. So it's a bum deal though. Bad time of year to be losing that.
It's never a
You
good
know,
time.
Holidays, always an overabundance of cash in everybody's
Is that the
bank
only
accounts.
car she has?
Yes.
Okay. That's not ideal. She's probably going to have to get something pretty quick then.
Tristan has been known to use the lawnmower as a mode of
Hell yeah.
transportation, but I don't think that'd be good for a 50-mile one-way commute.
No.
He'd try it though.
There was one day I came home and Katie was telling me that her mom was pulling into town, driving down the road, and all of a sudden she sees Tristan headed towards the gas station on the lawnmower.
Hell yeah, dude.
Got to get a pop and some candy.
Hell yeah.
What everyone's listening doesn't understand is that Tristan, who is my girlfriend's little brother, has Down syndrome.
And he's 19 now?
He's
18?
19 now, and he's a very functioning person, but not a driver.
That's so fucking metal though, dude. Going to the fucking gas station on a
So
lawnmower.
so now her mom had to get a hide key and put it somewhere for the lawnmower so that he can't
Doesn't drive places?
Steal the lawnmower to drive places.
It's fucking metal, man. I love it.
That's awesome.
Boom. Topic time?
Yeah, I like.
Let's do it, Adam. Do it up. This is
I'm doing
you
this.
suggested it.
I'm
Who
the intro
well,
guy today. I
Who
guess.
suggested this to begin with?
Chandler Marr,
Chandler.
our Facebook follower.
Chandler?
Chandler.
Chandler?
We can't pronounce
Chandler.
anything.
Chandelier. I don't know.
Sorry, dude. But he suggested this.
He did. So we kind of breezed over this last week when we were doing our question show, where he said 3 cars you have to live with for the rest of your life. What are they, and what mods are you going to do?
He didn't even use that many words. He said 3 cars, rest of your life.
Go.
Mods ? Question.
Yeah. So we
that-
kind of left this pretty open ended.
Mm-hmm.
We all asked questions of each other and basically said, "You choose. It's your own." So
And Robbie and I were talking before you got here. I think we still have a different understanding of what this is. Each of us has a different
we will not
understanding
agree.
of what this means. So anyway, Adam's the
this
guinea
is gonna
pig.
be interesting.
He's going to start, and then we'll argue about how everybody else is wrong and how they interpreted the rules incorrectly. Is that
Okay.
fair?
that's fine.
Okay.
So what I decided was that this is a no budget deal because he didn't give me a budget.
Naturally.
He just said 3 cars I have to live with the rest of my life. So while I didn't get too wild and crazy,
Yeah.
I did pick vehicles I could not currently and probably never will be able to afford.
Okay.
So I picked a daily driver. Of course, gotta have a daily
Okay, so here's the first.
That's
hang-up.
where
Robbie and I were talking about this before you got here. He has a fourth daily driver in his lineup.
Nah, that's not 3 cars, Robbie.
See,
that's
what
4.
I did. I had this set up at first. I did it 3 cars, rest of your life. That's the only 3 cars you ever get to drive. Is how I interpret it first, and then I went. Nobody wants to listen to me talk about my Toyota Tundra, so I threw that out and said.
That's why.
I said three race cars or 3 fun cars for the rest of your life, and that's the only 3 cars you can have fun in.
I solved that problem by picking things that are good and fun.
See, that's where I tried to be sort of.
I see. I didn't want to do that because I have very
okay.
defined rules on daily driver versus fun car.
How about this? We let Robbie say his piece, and then if we decide that he interpreted the rules incorrectly, he must remove one and substitute.
As
a Tundra.
always, we try to act as in a democracy because we can.
So we can vote one of his cars out.
We can vote him out. If he's wrong, you and I, Michael, can override him.
Okay.
So that's
All right.
fine.
Start us off, Adam.
I'm going to continue.
Okay,
so I chose number 1, my daily driver. Then I chose a utilitarian vehicle that I could use for stuff and towing.
Yep.
And then I had to have my fun car.
You don't have a tow vehicle, do you? Roberto.
I do if I interpret it the first way I interpreted it.
Okay. So we may have to go back to that.
So I need to drop one of my fun cars?
Maybe.
Let's
do the list.
You do you, Robbie.
And then we'll tell you you're wrong.
You do you. You're going to be wrong either way, so do what you want the most.
All right, I'll tell you my 3 fun cars.
And then, we'll tell you that you're wrong. So,
All right,
Adam,
so my daily driver, the car I'm going to be driving the rest of my life to and fro.
Okay.
An Audi RS7.
Approved.
What mods?
No.
Yes. Second approved.
I'm going to leave
call,
that
sir.
one alone.
Good call, sir.
It might actually
Considering
run.
Today, even. Was it today or was it yesterday? I can't remember. We talked to somebody, Joss, who's been on the show, on their Facebook page about how he sold all of his Audis because they're terrible rubbish.
Bought something with an LS in it.
And there's actually he did. He replaced his
It's got
Audis.
a Tahoe.
He replaced his Audis with an LS-based vehicle, and he's much happier as a result.
Weird how that works.
It's
but
weird how that works.
But he's also looking for a BMW.
He is. Yeah, he's looking for a BMW. I don't know why he doesn't just... Dude, I told him, buy that fucking LS that you found, Robbie, for $3,500.
The SC?
Let's just be done with it. Yeah,
the SC
Or the
400.
SC, sorry.
That's what I told him too.
I'm like, dude, just be done. Like,
just buy that.
it's a nice car
thing
all
is
around.
gorgeous.
It was awesome.
So good.
Because he was, he's like, oh, I want a 6-speed or this or that or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, just buy that car. It's cheap. It's already modified. It looks perfectly great, actually. And just own it as it is and do with it what you want in due time. But for
I
now,
agree.
just own that.
I can't get that stupid Jag out of my head. It just keeps
Is it
coming
still for
back
sale?
to me. I don't know.
Think of all of the parenting that you
I've
could do.
decided not to look.
Think about all the parenting that you
What
could
if
do.
the price went down?
Oh
Adam?
my
I
goodness.
don't have any money to buy it anyway.
If you sold the Focus,
I would not put Katie in that.
If you sold the S10,
That would be what I'd have to do, and I'm not there yet.
Dude, you could trade the S10 and walk away with cash.
I could. I don't know about walk away with cash, but I could trade it straight up.
You could trade it straight up, or you could sell the S10.
Well, what I would probably do if I was serious about doing this is I'd pull the turbo kit off of it because it's probably not worth any more to a dealer with the turbo kit on it.
Yeah.
But that turbo kit is worth a ton of money.
Yeah, put it on eBay or on one of your S10
Yeah, just
forums.
put it on an S10 for them. Sell the turbo kit, trade them even over for the Jaguar, and then use the profits from the turbo kit to fix all the problems that I didn't realize when I bought the Jaguar.
Boom.
you already had this planned out. Good for you.
Do it.
Yeah, but
do
I'm
you?
not going to do it.
Pull the trigger.
No, I can't.
If you would like to encourage Adam
Don't encourage me, people. I'm
get
so
rid of his
bad with
S10
peer pressure.
and buy a Jaguar, a $3,000 Jaguar, mind you, please find us
An
on Facebook.
extended wheelbase Jaguar.
Extended wheelbase with white walls.
The thing I hate most about Katie's Focus is getting Logan in and out of the back seat.
That would not be a
a
problem.
problem in an
You
extended
could
wheelbase.
literally
car.
stand in the back seat and put him in his child
Who
seat.
needs a minivan when you have an extended wheelbase Jag?
Plus, then you get to tell people you have a Jag. Oh, it's in the Jag. Here.
You know,
Go
Adam,
get it.
once you've made the sale, stop selling because you're clearly already on board.
I'm
with this.
sold for you.
Being able
you
to
know-
say I have a Jag is not really beneficial in my
I will be
current
emotionally
status.
encouraging with the Jaguar.
It's
brand.
almost Christmas. When was the last time you did something for yourself?
This is for you and your family.
can't do
This
it.
is for you and your family.
When was the last time you did something for you and your family?
Because if you have this, then you can put the baby in the Jag as well as the Focus. You see what I'm saying? Because right now the truck is not baby
Oh,
practical.
I would never drive the Focus again if I owned that Jag.
which might be a good thing.
Ever. Ever, ever, ever.
Should I check and see if it's still for sale?
Let's come
Our
back
topic.
to after the bit. Let's come back to after we get to the bit. We'll come back to
My
that.
utilitarian truck.
Or you was Robbie? You want Robbie to go?
Are we?
No,
You wanna
I'm-
keep going?
I'm going to finish
All right.
this
You just
out.
gonna do those three and then?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do my 3. We'll talk about whatever.
You're
and
not,
then
like, you're just gonna tell us Audi A7, nothing?
RS7.
RS7?
I'm not going to do anything. to
Approved.
it.
Stamp of approval.
I don't know what else to
You
talk
didn't-
about.
You
with
didn't
that.
pick a color?
1010 stamp of approval.
Nothing?
Red.
I like red.
How about that?
Black rims, red rims, white rims?
The smallest ones I can get.
Could I potentially talk you into a stage 1 APR tune because it's
No.
absolutely out of control,
Oh, it's
stupid
so
amount
out
of power.
Like
you can-
700 and some odd horse.
You don't really need it on an RS7 anyway.
So
Like, how much
fast.
more in jail do you want to be?
I just love that fastback look on them.
it's a
They're
good
rad.
look. It's a good look. I like it.
Good looking cars.
Next car.
Get your Google machines out, everybody.
Or go to YouTube.
No, well, okay, fair enough. I was talking to you two specifically for the next one.
Oh, God.
Get your Google machines out.
Oh, Adam found something obscure.
Google.com.
I have some family history with this vehicle.
What is this supposed to be to you?
This is my utilitarian tow truck, do things around the house truck.
Okay.
Truck.
Okay.
1967. International Travelette.
There's a travel all and a travelette, Robbie.
The Travel All is the Suburban. And I thought about doing that, but then I decided, nope, I need a bed. You can get this particular vehicle with a 6-foot or an 8-foot bed. I would prefer the 8-foot bed.
It's a crew cab.
4-door crew cab. This is what I grew up going racing in. My dad had one of these till I was probably 6 or 7 years old.
Approved.
But
Okay.
since I have to live with this thing the rest of my life, I am not going to live with that random ass international V8 that nobody makes parts for. LT swap it.
LT?
The new one. The new LT.
Ah.
Yeah.
Approved.
And I've thought about like putting a Pro Charger on it or something ridiculous because it'd be fun. But I don't even know if I need that.
It's already
I might just leave it with-
460 horsepower.
Yeah, I think I might just leave it with the LT in it.
Rocket ship.
Vintage air, so I got some air conditioning blowing on me because you got to have air conditioning.
Amazing.
Red, white top, just like the one my dad
I
had.
don't hate the truck.
I'm into it.
They're
I
pretty
like
cool
it.
looking,
I like
aren't
it.
they?
It's
I
very
like
cool.
I like the curved glass
Yeah,
windshield.
the later models of those are much more square, and so that's the first gen of the Travelette. That's the one I want.
Dig it.
International made quite a few of them. They're kind of hard to find now, but they are.
I don't think
out
I've ever
there.
actually seen one in person.
I just think they're rad. I like international stuff. I almost went with a second gen Scout that has the Anything Scout LS swap kit in it. But I decided
That's a good one,
That's
too.
not utilitarian tow vehicle enough. So I went with the Travelette.
I like
Alright.
it.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And then the vehicle that will be on the trailer behind it. Because it,
Don't say it.
in one way, shape, or form, can
We
do...
know what you know. We
no,
know
Don't say it.
No, you don't.
Don't say it.
You don't.
Don't say it.
I can't. I'm actually offended you didn't pick it then.
I thought about it, but
You had almost
I've
had
had
to.
so much hate. that I
No,
don't even
that's not
want
what
it
he's going to say,
anymore.
Robbie. He's going to say that one thing, the Mosler.
Nope.
Damn it.
I thought he was going to say the Ultima.
Yeah, I was thinking the Mosler.
I'm so mad about you guys have ruined that car for me.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I can't
Thanks,
even do
James
things
from
with it
Kanga
anymore.
Motorsports for helping.
I can't even do anything with that car anymore because it makes me so sad.
Did.
So I chose a Lotus Elise.
God damn it.
My
I'm, like,
reasoning,
offended how
my
boring that
reason,
is.
no. So it's not going to be stock. Let's be real here. But my reasoning for it is because no matter what form of racing I want to do, I can do it with that. You know, if I want to autocross, I can put a blower on it, put some aero on it, super street mod all night long. It's nationally competitive. I want to do track day stuff with it, time attack stuff with it, whatever I want to do. I decide I want to go land speed racing. I can stretch it out, put an LS in it, make it 1200 horse, do 270 miles an hour, just like Hennessy.
Well, I suppose the rule said just had to keep that chassis.
So no matter where I go in life, no matter what I decide to do, that Lotus can do it in one way or another.
Okay, fine.
Approved.
This is my
I approve.
this
That's
is my
fine.
long-term practical thought.
Yep.
No matter what I do, I can race that car in it.
I'm going to have to go next then.
Okay.
I don't have a choice.
You don't want to.
You got
don't
a
want
damn.
to follow.
You have a
Michael?
damn Elise in your list.
No.
He does.
No.
He has an Evora.
What's your first one?
An
All right. My first one is
Siege.
Is that a Hennessy Venom?
no. I've already moved on from that.
I'm gonna build my own for way less than $1 million.
Yeah, I should say so, and it'll probably actually make 1,200 horsepower.
Ooh, sick burn.
My first choice, if I, again, 3 cars for the rest of my life, my first choice would automatically be the McLaren P1, the blue carbon fiber edition.
Yes.
Approved.
I would get mine in orange, but yes.
Now, that blue carbon fiber, like that flat blue, is like my favorite
It's
color.
crazy.
Somebody
it's
had
such a weird deal.
Somebody had that. I think it's House of Color purple. You know that changes to orange.
Yeah.
Somebody had that done.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that
quite-
oof,
It's quite a deal.
that was some color. It's very nice.
Yeah, again,
If you modify it, I'll stab you.
wouldn't touch a damn thing on
Okay.
it. It would stay stock for its rest of its remaining life.
Okay.
I would probably, it'd be kind of like the Cars and Coffee car. I would baby the shit out of it. I would take it out to like track days, but like I would not, and like the whole intention would never be to beat on it.
I'd beat the piss
Yeah, I
out
was gonna
of
say,
it.
how dare you, sir? How dare you?
No, I would,
What's the point?
I would love that car.
Why don't
I
you get a
would love
650
it.
then?
I
if
would
you're not
love
gonna
it
beat
so much that I'm
No.
going to beat the living piss out of it.
Be replacing head gaskets annually.
Well, that's good maintenance. I'm proud of you.
Is that it?
Yeah,
He's going to get 3 P1s.
No,
A P1, a
Bang.
P1, and a P1. A track P1, a daily P1, and a toe,
Cars and
a
Coffee,
toe
a
P1.
show P1. He's going to put underglow on it. Take
Hell
it to
yeah.
Hot
you can't
Import
put.
Nights.
You can't.
He's gonna put
underglow.
subs in it.
Oh my god.
Make the wing fixed so it doesn't.
No, the wing moves with the music, man. It goes up and down
Ooh,
and
I
does
like
shit
it.
articulating.
Yeah.
Or the car goes up and down with the bass, you know, adjustable suspension. It's pretty dope, Robbie. Very dope of you.
Wow.
I think he ignored everything.
I
we
really
just
did.
said.
I was trying to
dude.
find something else to do with my life, and
He was looking for another podcast to join.
I was seeing if anyone was out there wanting.
He's
to
on
talk to me.
Craigslist.
Podcaster wanted.
New podcast.
Been working with a bunch of assholes.
Can't do it anymore.
Would like to find nice
I like
people
cars, sports.
that enjoy
CrossFit.
racer cars.
I do like
And Underglow.
I do like racer cars. I like sports.
Underglow.
Not CrossFit. I like Underglow.
Robbie's become the scapegoat of the show.
Oh, weird. I like how it's become. Oh,
well,
that
dude,
wasn't that way in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
I think we've all had our turns, but you've had the most for sure.
I've had shows dedicated to me being the scapegoat. Don't give
I
me that.
tried to put that on me, and you didn't let me. I tried to make
The
fun of
Cavalier,
myself.
bro. Come on.
I tried to make fun of myself.
Yeah, but no one was having any of that.
No, everybody ignored the Cavalier besides Adam Jabay. Nobody bid on the Cavalier.
Racer.
Jabay's ruined my life again.
How?
He bought an RV, and now I'm on Craigslist looking at RVs.
I did notice that he bought an RV.
Fucking dick.
The biggin.
Maybe he could let us borrow it. We could do RV things together.
Anyway,
What's your
car
next
number
one?
2. God, we are all over the place.
Car number 2 is following the same thought that you did. Mine would be a 2005 Lotus Exige.
Exige, you say?
Exige. Yes, Exige.
Okay.
And
So-
it'd be based off of the. It's one of the YouTube videos that we first posted when we started doing this, like the world's fastest
Ronin?
Lotus.
The Ronin
Yeah,
Lotus.
it would be similar to that build, where it'd just be like 600 horse, billet block, just completely built to the wall.
So maybe you
Arrow.
can explain this to me. My understanding is of the Elise and the Exige, at least the early ones, is that the Elise is naturally aspirated and the Exige is a supercharger on it, but that's really the only difference. Is that accurate or no?
No, their bodies are completely different.
I thought the early ones were just
I don't think there's a ton of difference.
higher
between the
power
two.
Elises. That's why I just said Elise.
Oh,
I don't think there's a ton of difference.
I like the way the Exige looks more than the Elise.
I think it's got a. Does it have a fixed top? It
Yeah, it
doesn't
can.
have a removable top,
Slick top.
so the body probably is a little bit
Yeah, I was
different.
gonna
But I
say-
think the chassis is very similar.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, either way.
Yeah, it was the same mentality Adam had, that I wanted something that I could
Track
literally
monster?
do any form of racing in it, and yeah, it'd just be.
It's whatever I want
Nuts.
it to be. Like if I am tired of this track day stuff and I want to do whatever else I want to do, that car will work fine for it.
What's your
Roll
third?
racing?
What's your third car that we may deny?
Yeah, you're gonna take this away from me. It's a 2002 Nissan GTR R34.
God, I want one of those so
You
bad.
gonna
I've-
daily it?
No, Well, I guess in
You're
this
just
in
gonna
this
walk to
in this
work?
in this situation, I would
In
have
this
to.
scenario, you're going to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And actually,
Since you're not
and-
willing to drive your P1,
or tow with it.
Can't tow with it. No.
I bet you could tow an Elise with it. It has enough horsepower and brake.
You could.
It'll be
You
fine.
could tow
No,
a
that's
semi truck
transmission.
with a P1
No, the GT
once.
for a foot
You
or
can do
so.
anything you want once.
No, but I figured same with the GTR. I could build it. Just
So you're gonna look
Nothing.
like the one from Fast and the or Too Fast, Too Furious.
no. If anything, it'd be if I was going to try to mimic something, it'd be fast. What's the fourth one? Where it's the blue one? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just a stock one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Basically,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything too crazy with the body on a Skyline. Build
I've always
build the
loved those
motor
cars.
up. Obviously, suspension, wheels, stuff like that, brakes, and then the one thing I would definitely add would be the ETS Pro center differential torque split controller. So I could
yes, of course.
So I can change it from all wheel drive to two wheel drive and do drift things.
So you're gonna have a drift
Ooh.
R34.
Yes,
I like it.
if I had to pick 3 cars,
Redeemed.
I'd be on it.
So what was your fourth car if it was gonna be a daily?
Oh, I didn't even. If
It was
I
gonna be a Tundra.
yeah, it'd just be a brand new Tundra TRD edition. But again, that would be a separate list.
Okay, if you have to get rid of one of the 3 to have the Tundra, which one would it be?
The Nissan.
Okay.
Really,
Yep.
I think I would have got rid of the Exige.
Nope.
I really like this.
I had different plans for the Exige. It was a complete build.
What are you gonna do with
Caged,
it?
everything. Time
Whatever I
attack,
can.
time attack, HDP,
High performance driving
DP.
experience.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
That got weird.
What about you, Michael?
Is that it?
Yeah,
My
but-
list is boring compared to your guys' list, but I'll say it anyway.
I can't believe you of all people have chose boring vehicles.
Well, okay, because I looked at it as I have to deal with this bullshit for my entire life. Like maybe that's where I am in my car place right now. Is like I want to buy something that's not a pain in the ass because I don't want to deal with it.
What? I mean,
That's just me.
but I'm not. I'm there too. Those cars. I mean, I have a push rod engine in my truck. Just take the Audi to the dealership. It's whatever.
Warranty Audi with actually that car after 10 years would be a fucking nightmare.
Oh,
that car
God,
after
it'd
10
be so bad.
the RS7 after 10 years may be unusable.
Probably.
Unfortunately, I mean that's a reality that we're
that's
legitimately
a bigger money
facing.
pit than the race car.
we're legitimately facing the fact
Yeah,
that if
like-
you spend $130,000 on a car today, 15 years from now it might just be not usable because all of the electronics have gone bad.
Well,
or
there's-
one thing has gone bad and it doesn't work.
It's probably I mean, I don't know anything specific about those motors, but I know a lot of the smaller displacement economy cars, for lack of a better term, they like everything underneath that hood is plastic. So your thermostat wears out. You got to replace the housing because you can't take it off the block without it breaking. You check oil in your car too many times, and the dipstick tube breaks because it's made out of hard plastic and comes up between the the intake manifold, and it gets real hot and brittle and breaks, and that kind of stuff is going to be amplified on that car.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so my first one. This is my tow pig / drive it when it's shitty outside because I have
Trailblazer SS.
No, actually, I did think about putting that on my list, but it's not on my list. It's a 2017 GMC 2500 HD Denali with the diesel.
Ooh.
See, I just wanted to stay away from a boring new truck. That's
can't-
why
I
I decided
can't.
to take an old truck and put new truck things in it.
I just feel like the diesel will last a long time. Literally, my whole list is how long will this last before I have to fix it? Except for the last one, but so be it. So I wanted a new truck with a diesel because I feel like I could drive that for a long time.
Million miles.
Million miles.
Yep.
I could tow a ton, way more than I would ever need to with it.
So much more.
Could do stuff with around the house.
What is the tow rate? Like 12, 15,000
This one was
pounds
10,000.
10,000 pounds.
It's a lot of weight.
Can you even tow 10,000 pounds without some level of CDL? I mean, really?
I think you can if you're not making money on it. You don't need a CDL for anything.
That's not true.
Well, if you're not doing it as a job, I don't think you need a CDL.
I'm fairly certain you can't drive a truck with air brakes without
Well,
a
that
CDL.
might be true.
I think it's on our driver's license.
You could drive
Somebody can get to it.
You could drive an RV no matter what it is without a CDL, which I always thought was stupid because I can buy
It is
what is
stupid.
essentially a Greyhound bus
Yeah.
Turn it into an RV.
and drive that down the road, having driven a Buick my entire life. Mine's not accurate.
Non-commercial vehicle is all it says. So I guess, yeah, that probably is
Yeah,
true.
I've-
Air brakes is probably the deal breaker for a personal
I think
vehicle.
So. I might be wrong, but I think that's
But no normal human being needs to have a 6,000, 7,000 pound truck and be towing 10,000 pounds with it.
no.
I've made it 29 years of my life without ever needing anything that ridiculous.
And frankly,
I feel like I'll be all right.
most people don't need to be driving an RV either
No.
because they're morons.
I'm always scared watching this like retired guy driving
Can't
his
see.
RV and
He's got cataracts. He's swerving all over the place.
he's incapable of backing it up.
There's guys like my neighbor who can't back up a trailer into his own driveway, so he bought a some sort of electric motor thing that pulls the trailer into the driveway.
You got to be shitting me.
No, dude, he pulls he's got a really long driveway there,
Yeah.
right next to my house, and he pulls his truck in as far as he can, and then he stops and unhooks from the trailer and then pulls forward and backs out again. And then he's got this little thing that attaches to the hitch, and it's an electric motor on wheels. And it takes him like 5 minutes to pull it the rest of the way all the way into his drive because he can't back it in. And multiple times I've thought, should I just go over there and be like, dude, I'll back it.
It would take me 2 seconds to back that
You want
trailer.
me to just put that away for you? But then because I'm not a real big fan of this guy. As anybody who knows me knows.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's got a Mustang too. I mean, what do you do with this guy?
He has a Mustang
two.
2 also.
No, he has a
Mustang 2.
He has a Mustang 2 as well.
Yeah. No.
So one day that fell apart. The little trailer thing, or the little
Winder,
electric
yeah.
motor puller thing,
Yeah.
and the hitch dropped to the ground, and I just sat there and giggled at him.
What an idiot. He doesn't even have a
terrible
bad
neighbor.
driveway to like back
No,
a
it's
trailer.
super
with.
easy.
He's got
No, it's-
ton,
we're-
driveway super wide.
And we don't live on like some high traffic road where you're going to be pissing
He could
people
take
off.
all day.
All day. I don't know, man.
You should, if you can't back up the trailer, you should not be pulling
If
a
you
trailer.
can't back up a trailer into his driveway, you shouldn't be allowed to move it down the street, let alone
Yeah, exactly.
driving it across the country and putting it in campgrounds. My guess is he has to scope his campgrounds out ahead of time to make sure that he has a pull through. He probably
looking for pull through spots.
he probably does not take that thing very far because him and his wife will take their focus to a campground they want to stay at, find a spot that he can get in and out of, and reserve it for a weekend, and then bring the trailer there.
What's the point then?
Because what happens if he gets into a place and he can't get back out of it because he can't back up?
He calls guys like you and have you back it
Yeah,
up.
he has somebody else in the campground back it up for him.
Call AAA and see how that goes.
Yeah, can you come back my trailer up? You laugh though, but my dad has backed up other people's trailers before, which I'm sure your dad has done.
yeah.
Which is so stupid. It's like, what?
What are you doing,
Yeah,
man?
don't, man. How emasculating is that? Having some other man, having your wife watch some other man back up. You want to talk about taking your man card away?
I would sell it immediately.
I would just be done. I'd be like, well, I guess we're done camping.
No more camping.
Nope. No more race car. No more nothing. We're not pulling anything.
We're gonna just stay in cabins
Yep.
or get a tent and an
Yep.
outback or something like that. We're done with this truck and trailer
Yep.
thing.
2 things, one being pulled. We're not doing that anymore.
You get an Aztec with the camper or with the tent package.
Or a Prius with a tent package.
Oh, that's right. They made that, didn't they?
Yeah, it looks really stupid. Don't you sleep on top of it?
Or a Vanagon.
Yeah, there you go. Get a Vanagon. Be
Get a
done.
van again.
It's got a pisser. Can you get a Vanagon with a pisser in it?
I don't know.
I don't see why
Yeah.
not.
You just got to have
put a
something
pisser in anything, man. It's not a big deal. Make it happen.
Just
in a car.
6-inch hole saw on the floor, and you
Just
got a
piss
place
right
to
down-
piss.
That's right. Just piss
It's
right
fine.
down. Yep. It's a good point.
Get a 20-ounce bottle with a hose off the bottom of it, and cut the bottom or off the, and cut the bottom of it off. So you got something.
They've
to
got
aim at.
those wee bags with like chemical in them. Have you seen those?
no.
No.
This is a weird show, but it's like a bag. I think you get them at like camping stores. It's like a bag, and it's got a chemical in it, and you piss in it, and it turns it into a solid.
I'll just pee in the field.
That's weird.
I'm a man. I can do that.
I think it's for like if it's fucking freezing ass cold outside, like literally, like you're climbing
Like
Everest,
today.
and you got to piss, and freezing your dick off is not one of the options that you want to explore. You could pee in the tent, and then you don't have just a bag full of pee hanging out in the tent.
Weird.
I don't know. Have you been in a camping store? There's all kinds of shit in there. It's like, really, people spend money on this?
I don't really pay attention. One, I don't camp, and then I wouldn't go shopping to go camp since I don't camp. So
This is why we need a video camera and a mic to just go into places.
And talk to the
Just
salespeople.
talk to talk amongst ourselves about the stuff that's in the REI. That'd be fucking hilarious.
It's not a bad idea.
We do it. We just don't record it.
We could start a consumer podcast where we just go in and talk shit about every store that comes our way.
Just come in with a video
Between
camera.
the three of us, no matter what store we go into, one of us is going to fucking hate it. Like, take me into a Whole Foods and I might explode.
I love Whole Foods.
There's some delicious food in there.
There's delicious food at Whole Foods.
You need to eat better, Adam.
Like caviar, calamari, all kinds of fun stuff.
Kale
I had
chips.
calamari last
Kale
Sunday.
chip. Depends on how you
Gross.
prepare the kale chips.
Gross.
Anyway, you want to hear about my next car?
Let's
On
hear
a car
your
podcast?
potentially
This next one is
bad
my
car.
potential track day, drive it in the summer car. 2017 Corvette Grand Sport with the Z07 Aero package on it.
You did pick the world's most boring things, but I really, really, really approve of the Grand Sport.
Don't want a Z06.
Nah,
Having problems with heat soak and other
so
things.
much.
You don't need 650.
Transmissions starting on fire.
You don't need 650 horsepower in your track car. And if I decide that I do, I could put a centrifugal supercharger on it.
Yeah, then you're better
Pro
off
charge
anyways.
all the things.
Makes more power anyway. Pro Chargers proved it.
Yeah, they're
That's
pretty
it.
proud of it too.
No mods. Just run it till it breaks and then fix it and then run it some more.
That's really, really boring.
It makes sense though.
I
It
get
makes
it.
total sense. I could tow it with my Denali.
It's amazing what has changed in our worlds in a year.
Why is that?
Because if we'd have done this our first show, you'd have picked like some fucking weird ass Alpha and a '60s Ferrari and a K5 Blazer.
Well, I haven't gotten to number 3 yet.
I am really proud of how responsible you are about being.
It's very
You're
responsible.
thinking
You
about.
spending too goddamn much time with Robbie.
It's very expensive because my Denali was $65,000, which actually isn't that bad for 2500 HD. I thought.
That's not terrible.
Now, of course, you can't buy a 1500 with no options for less than 42, I think, which is ridiculous. But anyway, and then my Grand Sport was 84,000 with all the options. I mean, I selected every single option. It was a special edition paint. It was everything you could get. Special
carbon
seats,
fiber this,
carbon fiber seats,
fiber that, carbon ceramic brakes,
carbon ceramic brakes, aero package from the Z06,
Yep.
Z07 package.
Z07 package.
So my last one. So
Well,
then
that
I was
wasn't all of them. I thought we were on 3.
No,
Okay.
that
no.
was only 2.
So my last one, I was trying to decide like if I should go practical. Like it's not really practical to drive a 2500 HD around all the time or a Corvette.
People do it all the time.
I know people do, but it doesn't mean that you should.
Fair enough.
I was in a parking garage today, and some dude had one of those, and he was like,
Stuck?
"Yeah, well, he wasn't stuck, but like he has the end parking spot right next to the door, which is always bigger, you know, but he can't actually be like pulled straight into it.
Yeah.
He's at like an angle, and he's half taking up the entrance to the door to the building. I'm just like, I wouldn't do that to myself every day. That looks miserable." Can you imagine as a college student trying to park your truck in an underground parking garage at say 2:30 in the morning when you've just got done with bar things?
You shouldn't be driving.
You
anyways,
should. Yeah,
Adam.
you shouldn't be driving.
Yeah,
anyway.
but he,
You should be
he
responsible.
was.
I wouldn't want to drive it sober.
No.
It's too much. It's too much all the time. I don't know.
He had truck nuts hanging from the back,
Nope.
and the guy I was with was like, "Do you think I could cut that cable with my electrician scissors?" And I was like, "I doubt it." But then we realized that he was sitting in the driver's seat of the truck, and we were like, "Well, good thing we didn't try."
Should have tried anyway. I doubt he would have done anything.
That made for a funny story.
Would have made for a good story.
Could have told about on the podcast about the time you got beat up.
I would have been
By cutting
my
off somebody's
coworker.
truck nuts?
Yeah.
Worth it.
Or shot. You probably get shot with a shotgun because he's probably
No,
got a
dude.
shotgun.
That
He's probably
dude.
got a
That
shotgun
dude is
hanging.
No, that dude was like a fake bro.
Oh.
He wasn't
Yeah.
going to do shit about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
He'd
Come
puff
at
his,
me, bro.
puff his
I'm
chest
thinking-
out, be like, "What's
again,
up,
I'm-
bro? What are you doing?" He wouldn't touch him.
Again,
though.
I'm thinking from like back home. Where
Yeah, no,
They
no,
actually
no.
use their trucks and.
Nah, no.
Okay, my
This
bad.
is a status symbol.
Yeah, I suppose.
So anyway, my third one, I wanted to be practical, like Robbie, but fun. And so I was thinking, man, maybe I should get a
Veloster
500
turbo?
a Barth. A 500 a Barth. I was like, that's small, practical, gets good fuel economy. I don't have to drive the giant truck around all the time or the Corvette. But then I decided that was stupid, and I'm not Robbie.
You're telling the person that picked $1 million car.
Okay. I'm
that-
right there
that-
with you.
Okay.
I'm right there with
That
you.
I'm
Because I'm
boring.
going to match you on your $1 million car.
Thank you.
F40.
Fuck yeah.
The problem was, like, I was thinking about this, like, do we have a budget? Because, like, if I buy the truck,
No.
I could probably afford to run the truck. And if I bought, I had the Corvette bought, I could probably afford to run the Corvette. There's no way in fuck I could afford to run an F40, even if I didn't drive it. Because like shit still goes wrong on them when they're sitting there. It's
even
old.
even if you could afford to buy it, you can't afford to maintain it.
Right, it's an old car. So even if I drove it like 2,000 miles a year, you know,
It's an old car with a
it's an old car with like
3.8 liter twin turbo
like
V8.
magnesium wheels and crazy shit like that. So
So if you like strike a curb, does it just
Sparks.
go up in flames?
No, just big
it's
white sparks.
Yeah,
Oh, it's scary.
I think these are magnesium, but we have some magnesium Fiat wheels.
You guys do?
Hell yeah,
We
That's
should-
awesome.
Are they worth anything?
yeah they are. Unfortunately,
I was damn it, because we could do something stupid with them if they weren't.
Well, magnesium by itself is worth
Yeah, I
some money.
suppose.
so anyway, you know,
Why
not,
don't you
not
have those
modified.
on something?
Why don't we have them on something?
Yeah.
Because they make sparks.
Think
You
about-
don't need help burning your car to the ground? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly. It's Italian. I'm on bought time at this point. I've
Yeah.
had that car for like 7 years.
The
and it's
world's
not-
most
not
most reliable Fiat.
Yeah, so I'm taking all the potential issues out of the equation so that nothing happens.
We've had entire shows about him fixing his Fiat, yet it's still the world's most reliable Fiat.
It's still the only race car out of this group that runs.
Also true.
Mine runs.
Oh, that's right. Yours runs. It just doesn't have a wheel right now.
Well, it depends on which set of wheels I'm trying to use.
Mine does not run. I fully
Yours does
admit.
not run.
No.
Fred Flintstone in it.
Hell yeah, dude. Can we cut a hole in your floor? Can we literally Fred Flintstone your car?
No.
Why not?
It's not worth it.
We can fix the floor, dude. That's
It's not
that's
worth
not
it.
that big a deal.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Let's just be happy we've got him to agree
Get
to
an
the
engine that
bumper
runs?
removal.
Oh, fair enough.
Let's not push our luck on extreme body modifications.
He's got a point. That guy.
You're not going to see a hole in the floor, though. We'll cover it up with some cardboard. You're going to put the carpet back over it. I'm not going to cut through the carpet, Robbie.
Yeah, you're not a monster.
I'm not a heathen. I'm going to pull up the sound deadening in the carpet and then cut the hole.
Wow.
It's just for a bit to, go up and down the road, and then we'll put it back together.
That sounds like a better use of a couple $100 on Craigslist.
Oh man,
That's not a bad idea.
that's a much better idea.
You need to pull the whole drivetrain out, though. Try to get as much weight out of it as possible.
I want to buy some running motor on Craigslist with a blown head gasket and JB weld it,
See if it'll
the
stay.
head to the block.
Like take it off and then JB weld underneath it where the
Instead of-
gasket should
like a
be,
gasket.
Like a gasket.
and then
And then drive
what kind
it.
of fuel are you going to use to try to blow it off?
I just want to drive it that way. Like see if
Like
that would
actually
work.
drive it every day and see if it'll work.
Like take it to a track day or something stupid. Like buy a Cavalier or something.
I feel like you could
shitty.
get a blown head gasket Grand Am for like $300.
That's what I mean. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be funny? Just like try to come up with as many stupid ways
But
things
then,
as
like-
we can to fix it.
But then like drive
And
it.
see how
every
long
day.
it will last with these terrible fixes.
I'm like mildly tempted to do this.
I think it'd be funny
we just
to
took
make
it-
a
'cause,
JB
like,
Weld head gasket.
I'd totally be fine with driving it because I don't have that far to go. You know what I mean?
See how long it lasts.
Just to see how long it works and just drive it every day. But then we can go do stupid shit with it on
Like
the
we'll
weekend.
end up accidentally putting too much JB Weld and it'll get one
In the cylinder?
coolant passage like
Oh, yeah.
full of JB Weld and then that'll
Have to be
the
a
end
very
of it.
professional gasket. JB
Not
weld
too
job.
much.
Yeah.
But you have to have enough.
We should get another. I'd like to see somebody do that with actual liquid gasket. See if that works.
Like the high temp shit and just
Yeah.
smear it in there.
We could start that with that, and when it fails, then we'll go to
JB Weld. Yeah, because if that blows out, it's not a big deal. But if JB Weld fails, something terrible has happened. That engine's done.
Could you imagine though, like take it into a shop and ask them to?
Check it out.
Oh yeah, I've got a blown head gasket. I think. Can you guys check that out for me?
It's been acting up lately. I don't know what's going on with it.
That would be really funny. Just think of stupid shit to do with it.
I'm down. How do we conclude this bit?
I won.
You did not win, sir.
No.
You of all
I think
people
I have the
did not
best
win.
list.
Absolutely not.
No.
I have a good, reliable daily, an interesting.
You're telling me you're Audi.
Sorry, I have an interesting daily, a good,
Yeah.
reliable truck, and a fun race car that can do anything I want with it.
I'm not convinced that anything that's swapped is reliable. I'm not going to take. I'm not.
I'm going to
not-
leave it alone, though. I'm not going to do anything stupid with it.
I don't think it matters. I'm not buying that vowel, Bob.
Nope.
Sorry.
Says the guy who's V8 swapping a vehicle. Says the guy.
Yeah, but it's ninth car though. So
Oh, man.
All right,
Well,
so-
I guess I've won this one. Let's move on.
yeah, we picked the.
I think we all think
I don't understand why you
that
gave yourself a budget. I still don't understand why you guys gave yourself budgets.
I didn't give
myself a
I
budget.
didn't give myself a budget.
I just don't want a hypercar for the rest of
I want
my
a
life.
hypercar.
I do. That's the whole point of this.
Like I do, but
That's
but
what
they're
I'm,
not on my top 3 got to live with the rest of my life cars.
Oh, one is for sure.
If they said you can have 2 cars for the rest of your life, I still think the F40 would be on my list.
Yes. Then P1 would be on my list. Almost. Even
And
if,
I would
even
have-
if it
I
was
would-
just one. If they said you get one car rest of your life, it's the P1.
No, I couldn't do that. I would feel terrible. Are you going to drive a P1 around the snow?
I would walk.
That doesn't work, right?
Ah, fuck it, I'll drive it in the snow.
I'd move to a place where I wouldn't have to drive it in snow.
Well, so
Okay, that's fair.
if somebody tells me this is the one car I have for the rest of my life, but I don't have to worry about any maintenance or repairs on it.
I thought that's what we assumed.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Then I would be okay with doing something like a McLaren. If I had to pick a car, it probably would be a hypercar. But since I can pick 3 cars, I'm not gonna.
He didn't pick any hypercars.
Well, because I need something ridiculous and fast. But since I can have multiple cars, I can spread that ridiculousness out. And that's what I'd rather do.
This is what happens when we don't give ourselves rules.
We all come up with it in different
Which
Very
is
different.
which is
We didn't ask Chandler what his rules were, though.
which is why all 3 of us are sitting here together right now. That was what the original concept of this whole fucking show was, that none of us are the same person for cars, and just because of that, it will be interesting. And we're proving it week after week after week.
Supposedly. Or so they say.
People keep listening, so
It's very true,
keep
Robbie.
having rocking good downloads. So whatever.
Which we appreciate. So thanks for that.
You want to do the news, Robbie?
We can do
Lots
this.
of news.
Lots
Got
of
some
it.
crazy news this week.
So Jim Glickenhaus burns the Audi salesman that's trying to sell him an Audi R8 because he clearly doesn't need one since he has his own fucking racing team.
I love it. The guy, some Audi salesman, has the balls to send Glickenhaus a letter saying, "Hey, if you want to buy an R8 LMS, you just let me know." But didn't have the intelligence to look into it and figure out who the fuck he was sending that letter to.
Do you think his name got on some sort of list? And
It
that
had
dude
to
just
have.
hit the button, just the send all button,
Send
and
it
he
to
got a letter.
everyone that's been at
He
the...
probably found like a everybody who bought a LaFerrari list or something like that.
No, it would have been anyone that has a race team because he's trying to sell him a race R8, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's trying to
yeah,
sell
yeah.
him an R8 LMS. Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Everyone
It's-
that's competing in the... what's
Well, like he's raced it in the Nürburgring 24-hour race is where that car has been so
Yep.
far.
Yeah, so anyone that's racing in that, they like, oh, if you need a car, get an Audi.
Yeah.
Not realizing
Do you have
he-
his response pulled up?
yeah, I do.
Because his letter of response.
Do you have it?
Because
Because I have it, Robbie.
Yeah, he goes, sending back to the Audi dealer or salesman. We wish you the best of luck and are looking forward to beating you at the many races which our SCG 003C. Should any of your customers wish to race with us in an... I can't read while I have the mics in my way.
SCG 003C. Do let me know. Best Jim.
I love it. No, I have my own race car. But if any of your customers are tired of losing to me, send them my way.
Yeah.
Cocky.
He
It
should,
is
like
cocky.
he should have posted the guy's name. Like
I know, I wish he would've had
blurred
the
his
guy's
name
name on
out.
there.
And they
That's probably the right thing to do.
I
though.
suppose.
It's the classy
Boring.
thing to do.
It's boring. It's fine. What else, Robbie?
I didn't realize, I thought we had more to say on that.
No, we're moving,
I don't
moving
have
through
a
with you.
lot
We
to
got
say.
things to do here, Robbie.
We've
There's
wasted
like
a lot
6
of-
news stories.
We've wasted a lot of time on this show.
Yeah, I
already.
talked about a pee bag, Robbie.
I
I
figured,
spent
I
several
figured-
minutes talking
You
about a
brought it back
piss
to
bag.
that.
I assumed you had somewhere weird to go with this. I don't know.
No, not yet.
I don't have-
Maybe some of the other ones.
I just like how cocky he
Could
is.
talk about other bodily fluids.
What is going on with you today? So,
What's the next news story, Robbie?
So the man that was denied a LaFerrari Aperta,
The convertible one, basically.
yeah, he drops the lawsuit and says the NSX is better anyways.
This guy's out of fucking
So
control.
some guy sued Ferrari because they said, "Nah, you can't have an Apuerta," which
And he
in
has-
of itself is ridiculous.
He already has a LaFerrari, by the way. He got one.
Yeah,
He got one. He's one of the few people that applied and got a LaFerrari with a hard top, or not a hard top, but a coupe or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And now he's pissed because Sergio has said no, sir.
but the best part is that not only did he say, I want the car, but he sent him $1 million down payment
Oh, yeah, that's
check.
right.
And Sergio,
Send it right back.
Send it back.
nah,
I'm good, man. I'm
Crazy
good, thanks.
Italian Sergio said, nah, fuck you.
Send him the check back.
Here's your check.
And so he sues him. And-
We talked about this when it first happened because he sued him for like
It wasn't even that much money. It was like
$75,000 for like defamation of character and stuff like that. They're saying like because you're denying me this vehicle, you're saying that I'm not as rich as I claim to be, and that my car collection isn't as extensive as it is, and it's going to hurt my reputation with my business in the future. Some bullshit like that. So it's just an ego trip where you're like, oh, if I can't have this LaFerrari, I have to sue you.
it's exactly what it is.
I hate this guy.
Did you see the conversation between him and his attorney? Which, by the way, I wish I was his attorney because that dude's fucking loaded. The retainer
Yeah.
that guy carries
Yeah.
is got to be. It's probably $1 million.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says to his attorney, "Will we be able to make a case on this?" And his attorney says, "No." And then he says, "Can we sue them for other things?" And his attorney says, "Why, yes, we can."
Of course,
There's
we
always
can.
something we can
then he
sue him
says-
for.
We don't know what those things are yet.
Give me another $1 million.
Right.
And
I
I'll
will
get
find
back to
something
you.
else that maybe we can sue them on. So then he drops the suit. That's the best part.
But then he goes, oh, well, fuck you guys. The NSX is better.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure I buy that, Val.
It's like it's like a tenth of the cost or something?
It's $200,000 NSX for $1 million LaFerrari.
Yeah.
$1 million plus. I would imagine the Apuerta's probably more.
Well, he's got the LaFerrari.
The best
Right.
part is he says he has a LaFerrari. He says he couldn't get out of it. Did you read that
Yeah,
part?
he said the door like stuck. He had to
He
call
said,
someone to come
he
get
said
him
he
out.
couldn't get out of the car, so he called the police to come get him out of the car.
How is this
Isn't
guy
he
that
like
rich?
80 or something?
Yeah, I
quite
think
old.
he is. He's Preston Hen. What's he do? Did you see what he did, Robbie? He owns like a store chain
He
or
owns a
something.
bunch of pawn shops in
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Florida.
flea markets and stuff.
This is not a guy that should own a fast car. He can't get
He was
out
a
of it.
race car driver 100 million years ago.
Yeah, didn't he race it like
He's got a pretty impressive racing
This is a
career.
guy that shouldn't be driving anymore then apparently if he can't get
No.
himself out of a
No,
car.
absolutely
No.
not.
Well, Jeremy Clarkson could barely get out of the Vulcan, into and out of the Vulcan. I mean,
Yeah, he said that his hip
really-
and his back are all screwed up.
Didn't really fit in it.
Well,
so
that too.
I mean, I can see with that car, but at the same time,
He's got no business driving it then.
Yeah, if you can't get in and out of it, you shouldn't be driving it
which is probably why he decided the NSX is better
because the door's open normally.
because he can get in and out of it.
I suppose objectively that is a better
There's
feature.
no way he's right though. No fucking way that car's better. I don't buy it.
It can't be. It's nowhere near as fast.
I'm curious if he's ever even driven it fast.
I don't even necessarily think that just because it's slower makes it worse. It just there's no way that it's on the level that LaFerrari's on.
Nah, no way.
Even if they were the same speed, that LaFerrari's better.
It makes a better noise.
Exactly. It's got way more character.
I'll give you that.
So
What else, Robbie?
So Bugatti can't sell their Chirons. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Close enough.
Chiron.
Doesn't matter. They're stupid cars.
It's a dumb car.
I don't.
So what I gathered from that is that they've only delivered one.
yes,
And they had to
they've
give
sold-
him something else to get that car to go.
Yeah, so they said they were going to make 500. They have sales for 220, and they've only made delivery on one.
They had a hard time selling
220,
the 500 Veyrons.
right?
Yeah,
And
that
even,
Veyron was for sale forever.
and even Bugatti has said that the Veyron is a cars and coffee car where it's just about bragging rights. I have a 267.5 mile an hour car.
But that's the problem with the Chiron or Chiron or whatever.
It only goes 261,
It's slower than its predecessor.
and twice the price.
Yeah.
It just looks like an evolved Veyron. It doesn't look that interesting.
I'm not even convinced it's better looking. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, it's way better looking than the Veyron."
They're both ugly.
No way, bro.
They're both ugly, but I think the Veyron's still a better looking car.
Why does it have a giant
The only
C,
reason
C on the
you
side
think
of it? See that? This whole design
don't like
feature
that.
here, it's like a giant C thing. Have you
It's
seen
carried
that, Robbie?
into the
It's not
it's-
an event, is it?
It is a vent.
yeah, it's an event. It's carried to the center. The center console is one giant C, just like that. And there's something about it, like it's the longest single LED string in a car or something.
Wow.
Stupid.
Very exciting.
Some really stupid bragging claim to it.
And yet no one wants to brag about
this
it.
stupid thing right here that comes around. Right?
Yeah,
That
there's
is so
it's
dumb.
something. There's something about it being like some sort of biggest design.
We'll post some pictures or look at the YouTube for this. That is really dumb.
It's not a good looking car.
It's not a good looking car on
It's
the
really
inside
dumb.
either.
And if you're going to spend $2.36 million on
Buy
cars,
a Koenigsegg.
buy
Hell yeah.
2 Koenigseggs.
Or a Zonda.
Something.
Yeah,
Anything.
not a Zonda. A Huayra.
A Huayra.
Huayra.
Quite right.
A Huria.
Pugatti.
Pagani.
Pagatti.
Buying a Puerta.
A Puerta. Can't have a Puerta.
Well,
Not now.
that guy can't. I don't know. Nobody should be surprised by the fact that they can't sell that car.
No.
It's not that impressive.
No. All the reasons they did sell the Veyron is out the window with this car because it's worse.
Yeah,
Unless you think it looks good.
which it doesn't.
I don't think anybody thinks it looks good.
No.
Oh no, there's plenty of people out there who salivate over it like it's
Who
the
are these
best looking
people?
car in the world.
Who are these people?
14-year-olds
People that don't realize what it actually the
and
car
hip
is.
hop stars,
Hip hop stars I could see.
rappers, and 14-year-old boys.
NFL players.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're kind of rappers. Let's be honest.
They wish they were.
They
wish they were rappers.
They're all
Yep.
the same.
Yep.
Reality TV show stars, maybe.
They don't have that kind of
They don't
money.
have that kind
That's
of
a lot of
money, but
money.
I'm sure they love it.
It's
It's
terrible.
awful. Yeah, if I had $2.3 million, that
I'd buy a lot of other
wouldn't
stuff.
Even I'd buy 10 of something else before I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I'd buy 2 million CRXs before I'd buy that.
I get an Agira.
Yeah.
The Agiras are
They're
dope.
awesome. They're cool.
Sweet.
yeah,
Crazy.
1-to-1 or
Yeah.
an R or whatever.
There's a 1-to-1 for sale, a used one.
A Regera.
Regera.
Yeah.
Get a Regera.
Well, isn't the new Aston Martin the AMDB what the hell is it?
001.
Yeah.
00
Isn't
yeah,
that like
1.
the same price? So, obviously it's not for sale yet, but isn't that roughly
I
the
think
same
it's
price?
sold out though.
Yeah.
I don't like that's the thing
probably
that they were
true.
talking about in that article was like everybody else is making these hyper exclusive hypercars and they can't make them fast enough and they sell out
Instantly.
like
Yeah.
in their debut meeting and nobody even knows what that car's going to look like yet for sure.
People will spend $2 million on the idea of the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
But they won't spend the same amount of money for a car they could drive home today. That's how bad your Bugatti is.
Fail Volkswagen.
Next. What's the next news story?
So studies show that strict speeding enforcement makes driving more dangerous. I would somewhat agree, but
What's the reasoning behind this study?
and that's why I disagree because their what they tested was they put people in simulators and said they had different people based on okay, you drive through this zone and you have plus or minus 11 miles per hour on your speed limit, so they don't pay attention to the speedometer. Then they tell the next person they have plus or minus 5 miles an hour on their speed limit, or else they get penalized or whatever. Then they tell the last person you have plus or minus 1 mile per hour. So obviously they sit there and spend time focusing on their speedometer. So then they're focused on their speedometer. So when they put things in front of them, they're not looking up to see it. And again, that's not real life. They're driving a simulator where they're told plus or minus 1 mile an hour.
I have cruise control. I don't worry about those things.
Exactly.
Unless I'm I guess if I'm on a city street.
And this is in Australia where they do have really strict driving laws.
Yeah.
But not to the 1 mile per hour extent. So I do think the test itself is flawed. I won't disagree with the results completely, but I think it's flawed.
I think there's worse things than being worried. But who isn't worried about the speed limit? Everybody's constantly concerned about it. But what are you going to do about it? You're going to just having a speed limit makes people bad drivers. It's dangerous. Let's just drop it. That's
No,
going to be worse.
I think they're arguing that law enforcement should be more lenient. Like and maybe in Australia it's different, but here in the States, if you're driving through Chicago or you're driving through Des Moines on the interstate and the flow of traffic is going 80 miles an hour, regardless of what the speed limit is, you are not getting a ticket for going 80 miles an hour because you're going with the flow of traffic. Because they're not going to pull over everybody.
Frankly, the guy who's going 60 still is more dangerous than
Exactly. But so again, that they're not taking that into account. Like they're not taking in flow of traffic. Because if they tell you speed limit in this zone is 60 miles an hour plus or minus 1 mile an hour, and everyone else around you is going 80, you're the dangerous one. Yes, I agree with that. You are dangerous. But it has nothing to do with the fact that you're focused on your tight speedometer tolerance.
Yeah. Slow people cause accidents.
And
It's true.
Yep. Bad drivers focused on their phones. I don't know.
Yesterday, I saw what had to have been within inches of a T-bone accident, and the girl who pulled out had Miss Iowa stickers all the way down the side of her car, and it made me giggle.
Just a ditzy blonde driving her car, getting all
She was on her phone,
natural.
Of course she was.
blonde-haired girl. Looks like it
about
probably
pageant.
took her 4 hours to leave the house because it took her that long to put on her face and
She's
do
a
her hair.
pageant girl. She has to be perfect all the time. I mean, look perfect. She's, brain's probably not there, but whatever.
Whoa.
Cute girls are
You
going to
have
have brains, Robbie.
Do you have a story for that, Robbie?
I just think pageants are stupid.
I can't disagree with him.
Yeah, especially the little kid ones.
That's it. Yeah, that's
little
worse.
girls.
It's so much worse.
What's that called? There's a name for that.
There's a TV show, but I can't think of what that's called either. It's like something Princess. No, Tots and Tiara. No, that's not right either. Something weird.
Toddlers and tiaras.
Is that right?
Is that it?
Tiaras.
Tots and
It's
tiaras.
like a pageant show.
Yeah, that should be illegal. That's very weird.
Anybody who goes to watch that probably actually should be in
It
jail.
is a pedophile. Actually, if you're a police officer, you should just go to one of those, and if there's a shady dude in the back with a trench coat, just arrest him,
yep.
and we'll figure it out later.
Get
Get him
warrants.
out. Get him out, and then we'll figure out.
Get out the black lights. Make it weird.
Disgusting.
This has been a weird episode.
This has been more bodily fluid. See, Robbie, you
It is.
doubted the fact
There it is.
we would
We
bring it
brought
back to bodily
to
fluid.
bodily
How
fluid.
dare you, sir? I am a professional
Boo.
podcaster. Keep my word.
In car news that I can relate to,
What's the next one?
the exclusive Porsche contract ends with EA games. I was going to say EA Sports because I only know their football games. But so no longer will you only see Porsches in the Need for Speed games. You'll be able to see that in
Boom.
all of the racing simulator games.
I don't even play racing simulators, and I knew about this, and it was terrible. You got to get a rough.
Well, I'm not sure how, but Forza managed to get a bunch of Porsches.
Oh,
They-
Forza had Porsches?
I don't
Yeah,
know how they did it.
it was an
because they're
expand-
not EA.
Yeah, they actually teamed up with EA.
That's
and-
probably what they had to do.
And then there was an expansion pack, so EA got money for having
Got paid for that
Porsches on
Oh,
the
I'm
Forza
sure.
game.
Nice.
I'm sure that's how it boiled down.
So
but
supposedly Porsche and EA Games amicably separated, saying, we'll continue to use Porsches in the Need for Speed games, but you can go ahead and use them elsewhere, which is ridiculous that it's even an exclusive thing to begin with.
Why would you do that if you're
my
Porsche?
guess is that the conversation was not that way. It was probably Porsche going, your contract's up and we're not re-signing it
Yeah.
because we're losing out on a big chunk of money. So either you're going to pay us what we could get from Gran Turismo and Forza
together.
and Project Cars and Assetto Corsa and all those other games, or we're going to get it from them. Those are your options.
Yeah, and I think what probably started this all was when Need for Speed made the game Porsche Unleashed, and this was back in like the PlayStation.
Game was dope, dude.
Yeah, so this is
Game was sick.
This
You
was,
played that?
Hell yeah, dude.
I've never played that.
It was good.
I never
I've
played
got
that one.
it on computer, and I might be able to find the disc. It might be in my
Damn.
desk.
Yep.
Do we have to have like some sort of emulator to play it because it's on some ancient
No
operating system?
All Windows are backwards compatible with games.
I'll look see if I can find it.
All Windows have emulators for the old games.
That's not true because
Yes.
I can't play
My
SimCity
this-
2000 on my Windows 7 computer.
Your Windows 10 would.
I don't think it will.
My Windows 10 is back. Let me show you. It does.
Next week I'm bringing my SimCity pack.
I will show you how to play. I have Roller Coaster Tycoon on my Windows 10.
I fucking
I know
love
how
Roller
this
Coaster
works.
Tycoon.
The first one?
Yeah.
Is it the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Damn, that was old, dude.
Wait, no, it's on my Windows 7. I'll show you how to do it. It works.
Oh, you're on.
My Windows.
Don't doubt the engineer.
Yeah, I know what I'm
I'm
doing.
not doubting him. I want him to be right.
But anyways, before I was interrupted, I was saying,
Rudely.
yeah, that Porsche.
What were we
Unleashed
saying,
made
Robbie?
Fuck you. So they made the Porsche Unleashed game, and I think that's probably where the contract stemmed from. The EA games. This is before like simulators were big. This is when racing games were just racing games. So I think what happened was Porsche got with EA, and they're like, Need for Speed's the biggest game out there right now.
Let's do it. Let's sign a contract.
Let's sign a contract. So if everything else goes to plan, we'll be rich and
We'll be
famous
set.
together.
We don't have to worry about it. Not a good move.
Nope.
At Gran Turismo, it took off.
Same with Forza.
Yeah, Need for Speed's not doing so well anymore.
That's because it's not accurate.
They even make anything anymore?
Yeah, they do. It's
Do
like
they?
one
But
a
they're
year.
arcade games. They're not
Oh.
simulator games.
You can't like driving it on a simulator is the most frustrating thing ever because you want the physics to be somewhat real and they're not.
That's the thing. Like now, like Forza Horizon, it's decently. It's not quite the Forza Motorsport games. It's still got a little bit of an arcade feel to it, but the physics are pretty close. But anybody who doesn't care about that, they just want to have fun and drive a car off cliffs and race cars through off jumps and through rivers. They can do that on Forza Horizon. But if I want to go and race some twisty mountain back road, I can do that accurately on Forza Horizon as well. But Need for Speed doesn't have that ability because it's not accurate.
Because even their accurate game of like Pro Street, I think there was another like Shift or whatever it was.
Shift.
Those were supposed to be somewhat accurate, and even those weren't even close to Gran Turismo.
I'm taking hard 90-degree corners flat out at like 180 miles an hour, and if it was real, you'd be doing 60.
or like the Need for Speed games, if you come out of a corner, you obviously hit the nitrous because you get grip.
Straightens the car out.
Straightens the car out, and you get grip.
Why don't they just keep making Need for Speed Underground like forever?
But it needs to be more realistic is the thing, because there's the people now that want realistic simulators and they won't play anything but the people who just want an arcade game don't care about if the physics are accurate or not. So if you make an arcade game that's not physically accurate, you're cutting out half of your potential buyers, whereas if you make an arcade style game that is accurate, nobody loses.
Well, I still think you're going to have kids and stuff that don't care. They just want it to be like a cartoon. It's just
Right,
a
which
game.
is why Forza Horizon is so popular, is because if you're just a kid who wants to play a game, Forza Horizon's good. But if you're a guy who wants an accurate game, it's also still good. Whereas Need for Speed is only caters to the arcade game people. So they're cutting out half of their potential buyers by making that game not realistic.
Yeah, but what if I want to put Underglow on something?
You can do that in Horizon.
What?
I think.
I don't know Horizon.
Can you?
I don't have a new.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a new Xbox.
I just want to put body kits on stuff and stupid decals and Underglow.
I think you're stuck living in the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
I just want-
you have to play
I just-
PlayStation 2, and that's
I
all you
just
get.
want
I still have
Underground.
Underground 2.
I want-
Underground 2.
Underground 2, but new, with new cars. And
Right?
new graphics. That's what I'm saying. Just make that and don't make anything
Just
else.
redo it.
Just every year, just keep making Underground and just put new cars in.
Hey, that's what EA is really good at because that's what they do with their sports games.
Exactly. Just do that.
Sports games make no sense to me.
No. Spending $60 on sports games makes no sense.
I don't-
I get making a new one every year because there's new players, people retire. I get that. But charging $60 is fucking crazy.
What about an update that's $20?
That makes more sense.
I buy
'Cause the
EA
game-
Sports
Oh, no, 'cause
Sports
they
Ball
have that,
2K16.
They'll have that. You'll buy the $60 game, and then
Yeah.
in 2 months they'll release a $20 expansion pack, and you buy that too.
Because Dave Fuckface is a free agent now, and so we got to do
Yep.
the trade thing or whatever.
Yep.
Because he
Well,
doesn't play tennis
that's-
ball anymore.
That's the crazy thing. It's $60 in for a basketball game in October. By April, it's worthless.
It's $10 at
You can't
GameStop.
even sell it to GameStop because nobody wants last year's game.
That's a
it's-
good business.
Yeah,
That's a good
video
business.
games. The manufacturers are making money hand over
That's what I'm
fist
saying.
every
Just
year.
just make Need for Speed Underground 2 2K17.
Or just make Need for Speed Underground 3 and just
Just re-release
just
it,
do
but with
it.
new stuff.
Well, their the newest Need for Speed game was that way.
oh, I don't know. I don't play them anymore.
What's it called?
I think it was just Need for Speed.
Oh,
I did the undercover one where you're the cop.
that
The
one was
Run.
kind of fun.
It was again, it was an arcade
Back
one.
in the day.
And that was when I first got the simulator and I was basically done with the game. I'm like, I'll just finish it on the simulator.
No,
No, you won't.
It was
Crash.
10 times more hard. So then I got the controller in this. I'm sitting in my simulator playing on my controller just so I can finish the stupid game.
I tried Grand Theft Auto in my simulator.
Not good.
It doesn't work.
Nope.
Especially when you crash. It's really hard to walk with a steering wheel.
I gotta find another car.
Yep.
So
That's all I got on video games for now.
What do you got next, Robbie?
Wait, have I talked about this before? That my favorite video game to play on my simulator is not Gran Turismo.
no,
It's Grid.
Grid.
Autosport.
it's because their
It's-
AI is
Okay, then I have talked about this.
very aggressive. No,
Yeah.
you've talked to me about it.
Oh,
I vaguely remember this conversation. I don't think it was
but I
on
don't
the
think we've ever
podcast.
mentioned it on the show.
no! If you do PlayStation 3 simulator stuff, it is worth the $15 to go buy Grid Autosport. I play that over Gran Turismo 5 and 6 all the time. That's just my 2 cents
10/10 top tip.
on video games because I'm a nerd.
Word. You are an engineer.
I like math and computer stuff, physics.
Fucking hate, man.
Let's talk about physics. I can do
Let's
that.
not talk about physics.
Let's talk about the last topic.
So Aston Martin announces 25 new DB4 race cars. And that's from the 60s?
Yes. Debuted in 59. Last one sold in 64, I think.
Okay. So
Or 63.
So are they creating brand new 64 spec
Yes.
DB4s?
They
Yes.
are historically accurate to the last bolt.
No, they're mildly improved.
Yeah, I thought
They make a little more power.
the
They
manufacturing
got a little bigger
process is-
brakes, I think. Yeah, they did talk about that because the other ones would have been hand-formed aluminum, I believe. And
Okay.
so these would be, they're actually using a computer and CAD to, they're drawing the car and they're
Yes.
going to manufacture it as opposed to taking a giant wood block that looks like an Aston Martin and beating panels over it.
Okay.
Jag did this a little while ago, but they actually had a bunch of E-type race cars, and a bunch of them got mothballed because they didn't get sold and they were parked somewhere in some warehouse. And a couple of years ago, they dusted them off, finished them off, and sold them for $3 million a piece or something silly.
I do remember that now that you mention it.
Yeah. So Aston Martin's doing a little different. They're actually building these cars, whereas Jag just finished them.
These are
But-
serial number continuations.
Yes, so it'll just pick up where they left off
Yeah.
50
Yep.
years ago.
So, I alluded to this before we started recording. I'm going to make what I believe may be the most blasphemous
This
statement.
may be the last episode of this
This may be
show.
the most blasphemous
now.
statement that's ever been made on this podcast, especially pertaining to cars. That is not a good-looking car.
I don't completely disagree.
The article that I shared with you guys, that guy says the best looking car Aston Martin's ever made.
Absolutely not.
I couldn't even begin to disagree more with that statement. I don't think that's a good looking car, frankly.
I don't think it's a bad looking car, but it's not that good looking.
If I was alive in that era, and you said, and I was going to buy something of that caliber, it would have been an E-Type all day.
Yeah, that's a much better looking car in my opinion.
The E-Type is one of the best looking cars ever made.
Yeah, not this one.
I don't think that's
this,
that good
this
looking.
isn't even close to my favorite Aston Martin.
No.
Again, I'm not as big a fan of like old cars like you guys are, but still, I don't like.
But even as an old car guy, that's not my car.
Nah.
It's not my go-to. It's not a good looking car. I said it.
I don't disagree.
Really. I figured,
Not
I
in
figured
time-
you
not
get
in-
all 60s was the best time for design. Blah blah blah.
It was, but they-
you're wrong. Adam.
Ferrari
You
had a much
are
better
an
design.
idiot. You're blind. Pictures look better at night.
It's much more less arguing in the new versions of the podcast as opposed to the old one. I feel like we did more arguing before. You think
Maybe
that's
I
true?
just made all my blasphemous statements.
We've
early on.
softened, maybe. I think one of the best Aston Martins is the Vantage from. I was trying to figure it out here while we were talking.
I
think it's from 177 is good, but in the 90s they made a Vantage that had a 5.3 liter twin supercharged V8 in it, and it made something stupid like 600 horsepower. And
I
they,
have
only,
a picture of the motor on my phone because I love it.
and they only made like I don't know how many 20 or something, and it's just absolutely insane, in my opinion, that Aston Martin, which was a company that had no money at the time, not a dime to its name, had a super old chassis. The car looks old. Car looks fucking sick, by the way, even though it looks old. It looks just sinister. Decided, we're going to take our V8 and we're going to put not one, but two superchargers on it, and then we're going to sell it to people. It's
It's like the
asinine.
same.
It makes no
It's
sense.
the same style of supercharger as like came on the 3.8 liter Grand Prix.
Okay.
It's that type of supercharger. There's one on each bank of cylinders, and dude, it's the like one of the most glorious looking motors ever. It's
Aston Martin
fucking rad.
Vantage Le Mans, I think is what it's called.
I'd have to dig way back in there, but I do have a picture of that motor
engine.
on my phone because I think it's that cool. Wow.
I think the car looks cool.
Car's
looks
very good looking.
angry looking, very angry looking car. But that, I don't know. That to me is one of my favorite Aston Martins because it's so stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We have no money. Let's put 2 superchargers on a car and see if we could sell it to people. Because like, we've talked about this before, but to an accountant, if you tried to explain that to them about how this is going to make money, they would say, you're fired.
Like the Raptor,
Please-
how'd they pull that
Right,
off?
like, please leave. Please get out of my office. We'll never talk about this again. But it's a small car company, and they had a crazy idea, and they made it, and they didn't go
worked.
broke. Yeah, it worked.
So, that being said, I think it's cool that they're doing this.
Yes.
I think
agree.
I really like the idea of manufacturers doing these sort of things.
Yeah, like these random limited runs of remanufactured
obviously, I
old
don't have
cars.
the millions required to be even considered for these sort of things,
No.
but I like being able to see them and stuff like that.
Yeah, like if Toyota would make a
GT 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a
2017.
That'd be a good idea.
I was going to ask, like, if this became a thing, what would you like to see? That's a good one.
I would like
That
to-
would have been my first choice.
I would like to see a Ferrari 250 GT California.
That's a good choice as well.
It's the convertible.
Mine's going to be kind of lame, and no one's going to see this one coming.
I swear to God, if you say Dodge Omni.
Not a Dodge Omni. It is a Dodge, though.
Damn it.
I want a Super Bee or Super Bird.
Oh, that's not lame.
I think they're
That's a
rad.
good one.
Like, that's my muscle car.
Yeah, I remember. you said that.
There's almost no muscle car that I lust after except that one. I just think it's rad,
You know,
and I would love to see that built again.
You know, it'd be sick, and I know somebody's done it. I just don't know who. But a Super Bee with a Viper motor in it. Think about that for a second. How
awesome.
sick that would be. Absolutely out of control.
Probably a
crazy.
replica Super Bee, not a real one.
Yeah, don't do it with a real one,
Don't do it
please.
with a
Unless
real
the engine's gone. Somebody sniped it.
Even still, go find a Hemi.
But that'd be pretty cool. A Cuda with a Viper motor would be sick too. Like a purple Cuda.
Any of those old
That would be
Hemi
really cool.
Mopars with a Viper engine. There should be more Viper swaps in our life.
Well, I told you Kelderman from Kelderman Trucks is working on a Viper swapped. What was it? 49. Is it a Merc or something? It's like crazy. Didn't make any sense.
See, I think like that 34 Ford with a Viper and a like 5-to-1 long tube header.
Oh, you talking about like a T-bucket or something?
Yeah,
Or
like a big, like an early
actually,
30s Ford or Chevy.
that would be hilarious to get one of those kits. You know, the fiberglass
the
kits.
fiberglass
and
kits.
section the frame and make it longer
Yeah,
so you can put a
lengthen out the
Viper motor
nose.
in it. That I would be. You know how much I hate replicas. I would be totally fine.
But then
with
like have like a 5-to-1 long tube header on both sides. It all comes down to like this big 6-inch pipe that runs down the side and dumps out right behind the door, and
that would be absolutely terrifying to
like
drive.
old school coach built hot rod thing.
Or Zoomies.
Zoomies would be
Zoomies on a Viper motor would be hilarious, Robbie. Hilarious.
Yes, it would.
Robbie doesn't get any of this conversation.
He knows what zoomies are. We've talked about it.
I know, but he
so
does.
many
I don't feel
times.
like he's feeling it. He's not feeling the Zoomies on the Viper motor.
Oh, I am.
What would you Viper swap, Robbie?
What wouldn't I Viper swap?
Okay, fair enough.
Robbie was,
Actually,
Robbie
you,
is
had, you
actually-
had me at Viper swap.
actually-
Robbie's had his tape measure out. It is 240 going.
Hear me out.
Finan-
here for a second.
financially,
I
it
think
doesn't
I can
work.
make this.
Hear
fit.
me out for a second. 240 with the R34 front clip and a Viper motor.
Not the front clip. That would look really weird because the R34 is kind of square and
No, man. No.
It works.
Shinomi's done it. He
It-
just finished one. He just
It's not
finished one.
finished yet, but it looks
Oh, it's not
great.
done? What chassis is it?
It's
though?
the S14.
Is
With
it-
the,
it's the 14 chassis,
Yeah.
not the 13 chassis.
yeah,
It looks
it's cool.
like gives me bad ideas. Looks good. I'm like, God,
It's a
damn.
lot of
Really?
lot of fabrication.
I'm gonna have
It's
to
like,
find
don't
that.
don't,
He,
kid, don't kid yourself.
yeah.
You put in the work to make it fit.
It looked like he had to.
I would guess that that's his own front end, basically.
So if you look at the front
I'd
end of the
imagine.
car, if you're looking at the driver's side, it looked like he had to take like where the wheel arch is as it starts to approach the driver's door, and then cut it off, and then section in part of a 240 fender
Yeah,
so that it would flow into the door. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
looks like I can't tell for sure from the picture, but it looked like he
Yeah,
had
'cause-
to cut it kind of like diagonally off of the top of the fender opening towards the windshield, and then replace that with something else.
Yeah,
And I'm sure it's probably a 240, part of a 240 fender to
yeah.
make
The,
that
the
work.
hood didn't quite work, so you had to
hood, yeah.
manufacture,
The hood looks-
fabricate rather some hinges and stuff like that. to
Hood
make it-
looks a little different. Like it doesn't quite meet the windshield right, but you probably never really noticed it. I was scrutinizing it because I was like, "Damn, how do you
How do you make it
How do you
work?
make that? That doesn't just clip on there, does it? That's ridiculous."
No.
Yeah. It looks sweet though. I approve. Is that for somebody or is that his?
That's his.
Is it really?
The funny thing is, the bumpers on that car were all mine.
Are they really?
I met him a couple years ago when he bought all that stuff off me.
Oh, the car that
So the white shell.
Yeah.
He bought my fiberglass fenders that I couldn't get to fit right, and then also my front and rear stock bumpers for that car. And then obviously he's gone a much more dramatic direction with it, but
that's pretty cool.
Is he Xiaomi Garage on Instagram?
I think so.
I think it's his personal page.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It's not Xiaomi Garage.
Damn it.
Anyway, we'll have to find it for you later.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not posted on his Facebook page, which is all I have because I'm not an Instagrammer.
Boom, I think that's it.
That's all I got.
Any more bodily fluids you want to talk about, Robbie?
No.
Maybe
Okay.
some blood,
Yeah.
some saliva,
Anything like that?
runny
No.
nose, maybe.
Not feeling
You
good.
got the runny nose
Yeah.
on lockdown, Adam.
Well, that's just par for the course.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you-
stable.
If he's going to pick a bodily fluid, though, I would suggest he picks a different one because I feel like we got that one covered.
Literally, the first thing I do every single morning,
Is clear your nose out?
blow my nose.
Do you have some sort of like nose squeegee where you just kind of pull it all out of there?
No, I can blow. I am a blowing nose professional.
You're a blowing professional? Is that what you just told me?
Yes, I can blow like nobody else.
You,
Robbie just
Robbie
face
hates this
palm.
show so much.
It's just-
so
he's
weird.
over there thinking, my dad listens to this. God damn it. He can't. There's no way that he likes your friends.
There's no way I like my friend.
Rough, bro.
Oh god.
Next week, we'll be introducing our new host.
Yeah, really. Last time
We're
I
done
give
with
you
the bank
advice on
vault.
LS things.
Nah, man, we'll be back at the bank vault next week probably.
Forgot
Plus,
about the bank vault.
Christmas is coming up. It's gonna get crazy.
Boom. Is that it then?
Yeah.
Let's end it. Go to the store.
Buy some
Buy a
shirts.
Buy a
shirt.
shirt for your lady friend.
or a pillow or whatever. Just buy something.
Do something with yourself. Stop being so
Do
lazy.
something with your life. God.
Stop just listening to this. Get motivated.
Leave a review.
Get your
We
motivation.
haven't had a
gear.
review in a long
We
time.
haven't.
It makes me really sad because I used to enjoy
Review us on iTunes.
pulling it up and reading them, and no one's given us
We
one
got a
lately.
Facebook review within like the last week, haven't we?
Oh, I love the Facebook reviews too. Don't get me wrong. We've got like 10 of them now.
Facebook reviews are on point.
Facebook reviews are great
People
too.
have been
but
doing a good job of being funny with those. So.
leave both or either. I don't care. If you're a Google listener, get on our Facebook. If you're an iTunes listener, do both.
Oh, on Google you can like thumbs up things, so do that because
So
I
do that,
assume that
too.
does something. I have
Give
no
us those
idea.
thumbs ups.
Yeah. You good, Robbie? I'm good. All right, let's end it then.
Bye,
Peace.
guys. Are we killing any of those news stories? Because I think there's
Nope.
quite a few of them there.
Let's leave them.
We're keeping them
Fuck it.
all.
Rolling it. Just roll the show right now.
I didn't know if we
You
were
want to
gonna
get
keep
wild?
them all.
You want to just you want to
Seems
just
like
go
a lot of
balls out?
shows.
Fuck
You just
yeah.
want to go balls out right now,
I'll
Robbie?
take my balls out.
You'll just get them out right now.
Let's not take our balls out. That'd be sweet.
Prude.